The 2-month peace talks, convened by the President of South Sudan, Salva Kiir Mayardit, are aimed at bringing together the leaders of the Transitional Council of the Government of Sudan, represented at the meeting by General Abdel Fattah Burhan, and the over 9 opposition parties in that country that are attending. Regional leaders who witnessed the formal opening of the Sudanese peace talks included Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, the Prime Minister of Egypt, Mustafa Madbouli, and members of the diplomatic corps. Speaking at the launch of the Sudan peace talks at the Freedom Hall in South Sudan's capital of Juba, President Museveni likened managing society to a doctor who must correctly diagnose an ailment of a patient and prescribe the correct medicine.
Managing society is like being a doctor. If you are a doctor and you do a wrong diagnosis of a patient, that patient will never get cured. Because the wrong diagnosis will lead you a wrong prescription. And the patient will never be cured. And the political leaders managing society are like doctors. You are a social political doctor. You are looking at the society. What is the problem of this society?
He strongly urged political leaders in Africa to work for peace and prosperity of their people and stop wasting time on retrogressive sectarian issues like identity of tribe or religion.
ETHIOPIA, opportunism, people who are ideologically bankrupt, they have no alternative except to use the ETHIOPIA of religion, of tribe, of race. This is a crime against Africa.
The Prime Minister of Ethiopia, who is also the current chairperson of the Intergovernmental Authority for Development, IGAD, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, highly commended the regional leaders for manifesting their commitment to collective peace and prosperity by attending the launch of the Sudan peace talks, despite the short notice of the invitation.
I appreciate and encourage the initiative of President Salva Kiir and also call upon the IGAD to closely follow and support the process. Excellencies, over the past years, I believe we have demonstrated our solidarity for the peace, and there is nothing that we cannot achieve as a region.
He thanked President Salva Kiir for bringing all stakeholders together by hosting the peace talks. He, however, stressed that it was time for the country in the region to focus on building robust economies.
What we have achieved together in the spirit of Madamar are building blocks for our region's shared goals and collective prosperity.
The hosting President Salva Kiir thanked his guests for gracing the launching of the ceremony.
Great pleasure to see all of you distinguished guests joining us in Juba to participate in this historical inaugural occasion for the restoration of peace, security, economic, and political stability in the Republic of Sudan. The event we are inaugurating today is the outcome of our continuous determination to work for peace and stability in our second home, the Republic of Sudan.
He also commended the Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, for having scooped the Nobel Peace Prize, describing the achievement as that of Africa. He, however, urged all parties at the talks to take advantage of the dialogue and come up with concrete resolutions that will ensure everlasting peace in Sudan.
السيدات والسادة الحضور، أود أن أعرب عن تقدير مصر لنجاح السودان الشقيق.
The leaders of the Transitional Council of Sudan, General Fattah Burhan, commended regional leaders for attending the opening ceremony and also thanked the opposition leaders for being present. President Museveni was later seen off at JUBA International Airport by the first Vice President of South Sudan, Taban Dengai. Others at the airport to bid farewell to the President included the Minister of Defense of South Sudan, Manyang Juk, that of Energy, Dr. Diu Matok Ding, and the Information Minister, Michael Makwei. It was pomp and color as Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Abiy Ahmed, received his guests at the opening of the Unity Park in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. Presidents Yoweri Museveni of Uganda, Uhuru Kenyatta of Kenya, Salva Kiir, South Sudan, Mohamed Abdullahi, Somalia, and Prime Minister Abdullah Hamdok of Sudan attended the grand opening of the park, previously the palace of the 19th century famous Ethiopian Emperor Menelik II. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed's government has refurbished and transformed the palace into a modern-day park that tells Ethiopia's 19th and 20th centuries history. The guests were taken on a guided tour of the park before the official inauguration of the facility. Sitting on an expanse of 40 acres, the $160 million park has several attractions, including a life-sized waxwork of Emperor Haile Selassie, who ruled Ethiopia from 1930 to 1974. It also features a museum, an egg house, an aquarium, and a zoo. The park, characterized by lush green belts and dotted with a modern irrigation system, will be open to the public at a fee in a move aimed at boosting domestic tourism. President Museveni praised the Ethiopian Prime Minister and his government for accurately documenting the country's recent history by inaugurating the Unity Park.
The culture of trying to erase what the previous leaders have done is wrong. In Uganda, we have seen this, although we fought civil wars, but when we gave the upper hand, we insisted on reforming what we call broad-based government.
Explaining the rationale behind the project, Prime Minister Abiy said the park was a manifestation of the Midima idea or synergy and symbolizes the Ethiopians' ability to come together for a common goal.
በርካታ ኢትዮጵያውያን መሰል ራት ድጋሚ እንዲዘጋጅ እና ለማዋጣት ዝግጁ መሆናቸውን ቢገልጹም
President Kenyatta of Kenya paid tribute to the Ethiopian government for beautifying Addis Ababa city through the park project and also saluted Prime Minister Abiy for the political reforms in Ethiopia aimed at promoting peace.
In this regard, I have no doubt this campaign that you have started to restore Addis Ababa to our rightful glory will not only open up new economic opportunities for the people of Ethiopia, but will also inspire others across the continent to focus on the creation of environmentally friendly cities and urban centers.
President Salva Kiir used the occasion to thank Ethiopia for supporting his country's liberation struggle, saying that the South Sudan People's Liberation Movement, SPLM, was born in Ethiopia in 1983.
In addition to this Anderson connection, the people of Ethiopia have always stood by the people of South Sudan in their difficult history. We always run here for refuge when we flee from violent conflict, and Ethiopia unreservedly accepts to host us as their brothers and sisters from South Sudan.
On his return at Entebbe International Airport, the president was received by Presidency Minister Honorable Esther Mbayo, the head of public service and secretary to cabinet, Mr. John Mitala, and the deputy chief of defense forces, Major General Wilson Mbadi.